February 22nd. 1371. David II of Scotland died. He was the son of Robert Bruce, was taken prisoner by the English in 1346 and detained in the Tower 10 years. 1609. Ferdinand I, Grand Duke of Tuscany, died. He was eminent for the wisdom and energy of his government. 1630. The first day of public Thanksgiving in Massachusetts. The day had been appointed for a general fast. No ship had arrived in a great length of time, and their stock of provisions was nearly exhausted. At this critical moment a vessel arrived from England laden with provisions, and they immediately changed the day of public fasting into one of public feasting, and it is quite probable that the day was observed with something more than an outward show of thanksgiving on that occasion. 1644. Charles I, having summoned a royal parliament, they met this day at Oxford to the number of 44 lords and 118 commoners. A speech from the king. 1674. Jean Chapelain died. He attracted the notice of Cardinal Richelieu by a preface which he wrote for the Adonis of Marini. Chapelain was talented and learned, obsequious and discreet, and these made his fortune, for he could be of service to the cardinal, who had the weakness to set up for a bel esprit. Of the first members of the Académie Française, received a large pension, and became the oracle of the poets of the time, and was universally esteemed. Have been better if he himself had not set up for a poet. In 1630 he commenced an epic, La Pucelle. It was announced 20 years before its appearance, and the public expectation was greatly disappointed. It soon became an object of ridicule. 1717. Great snow in New England. 6 feet deep in Boston. It commenced on the 20th, on which day Drive Brattle was buried, and many who attended his funeral were unable to get home for several days. 1731. Frederick Ruijsch, an eminent Dutch anatomist, died. 1732. Birthday of George Washington. He was the third son of Augustus Washington, and was born at Bridges Creek, Virginia. 1744. Partial action off Toulon between the combined French and Spanish fleets under M. de Court, and the British fleet under Admirals Matthews and Rowley. The Potter, a Spanish 60-gun ship, was burned. British loss 92 killed, 185 wounded. 1746. William Cowuston, director of the French Academy of Painting and Sculpture, died. 1766. British Stamp Act repealed. 1770. A mob, principally boys, attacked the house of Mr. Richardson, Boston, owing to his having attempted to remove the mark set against the house of one Leal, who had contravened the non-importation law. Richardson fired upon the mob and killed Christopher Snyder, a boy 11 years of age, who was recorded in the public prints as the first martyr to American liberty. 1780. An ox roasted on the ice at Philadelphia, the ice being 17 inches thick. 1782. The island of Montserrat surrendered to the French, under Count de Grasse. 1787. The Assembly of Notables of France assembled. 1797. The French made a descent on Wales. 1806. James Barry, an Irish painter, died. He was patronized by Burke. His greatest effort is a series of allegorical pictures in possession of the Society of Arts, London. 1809. Louis, Count of Kolbensel, died at Vienna. He was born at Brussels 1753. He entered into the military service of Austria at an early age, and was employed as an ambassador to the court of Copenhagen before he had attained his 20th year, and was continued in that capacity at some one of the European courts during the whole of his life. 1810. Charles Brockden Brown, an American novelist, died aged 39. He holds a distinguished rank among American authors. 1810. The island of St. Eustatia surrendered by the Dutch to the British. 1811. The British ship Cerberus and Active captured 22 vessels from Otranto, with provisions and troops. 1812. Ogdensburg, New York, attacked by the British and Indians under Fraser and MacDonald. Forsyth was compelled to evacuate it. The British took 12 cannons, 1,400 stands of arms, 300 tents, some provisions, and all the vessels and boats. American lost 27. British lost 64 killed and wounded. 1814. Blücher defeated by the French under Boyer. The former set the bridge and town of Mary on fire and fled. 1816. Adam Ferguson, an eminent Scottish writer, died. He was sent to America as secretary to the mission in 1778 to effect a reconciliation between the two countries. 1835. Jane Jarman died near Wadesboro, North Carolina, aged 105. 1836. Joyce Heth died at New York, a blind Negro woman, who had been carried about the country as a show, under the pretense that she was 162 years of age and had been the nurse of General Washington. On a post-mortem examination, it was found that she could not have been more than 80 years old. 1841. A landslide in the commune of Gregano in Italy, by which 113 persons lost their lives. The town of Reggio, in Calabria, nearly destroyed by an earthquake. 1855. The San Francisco bankers suspended payment, causing a panic.